everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got for you 6 fragrances. I think it's 6, might be 5, we'll figure that out as we go along, but either way 5 or 6 fragrances I am absolutely loving right now. So if you were to say to me, Claire, what fragrances are you gonna save from your house, what are your top 5 or 6 for life, then these would be on it. But we all know that those for life videos are very much for now, so I thought rather than do a top 10 for life, which will certainly be very different from the last time I did it, I would just tell you what I'm loving right now, right this moment, in this particular season, with this particular weather. The weather's turning very much from spring to spring, very much from summer towards autumn. We're getting some rainy, cold days. Evenings are getting much colder. We're still getting the odd sunshiny day. We seem to have had a touch of an Indian summer. I'm really hoping we get a little bit more. But right now, these are the fragrances I am loving and I'm spraying a lot of and I'm wearing a lot, and they're filling me with joy and I find them to be beautiful. So I want to share them with you. We'll start with the latest release from Dusita Parfums, and it is the gorgeous collaboration between Pissarro from Dusita and the fragrance group Oh My Soul, and it's called Anam Cara. I have talked about this a couple of times briefly on my channel, and I will be doing a full review of this one. Did it look a bit dirty? Yeah, it does. It looks a bit dirty because I'm always touching it. Anam Cara, the word means soul friend, so almost like your soul mate, but I think it's a little deeper than that, and that's in Gaelic. And it's about friendships with no barriers, friendships across borders. And Pissarro was inspired, had the people in the Facebook fragrance group come up with what notes they thought the fragrance should have, and this is what she came up with. She spent a long time creating it, and it was kind of I guess a little bit of what's the word, I guess the pandemic kind of sparked it, because they wanted to create something really positive and something to really showcase the friendship within the group of all these different people that have maybe or almost certainly never met in real life. Maybe some of them have, but the majority wouldn't have ever met, but they come together across the internet, across the world, and just enjoy their love of fragrance. So Anam Cara has notes of orange blossom, jasmine, tuberose, freesia. There's some vanilla, there's patchouli, vetiver, sandalwood, there's a tea note, a peach note. I've probably forgotten a couple of notes. There's jasmine, did I say that already? But for me, the most prominent note is the orange blossom, and it's definitely sitting on a woody base, so you can smell the woods, but predominantly it's orange blossom. Then I get a little bit of white floral from the jasmine and tuberose. I don't really know what freesia smells like. I think there might be a bit of rose in here as well. Yeah, there is. So it's really a bouquet, but to me mostly orange blossom. It is orange hued, amber hued in fact, very golden honeyed fragrance. It's vibrant, it's uplifting, it's fresh-ish, and it kind of gets a little sticky and sweet as you wear it, but it is very much happiness in a bottle to me. It's a party kind of fragrance because it's just so it's so fun, it's just full of joy. So it is the perfect fragrance to represent friendship. And Pissarro very kindly sent this to me, and I was invited to the Zoom launch which I attended, and you can see, I mean, it's only been a few weeks I've had it, and that's the dent I've made in this little 15ml. So I am wearing it a lot. It's strong as well, so you don't need to wear a lot. It's a 29% concentration, so although it's called eau de parfum, it's actually really an extract, and it's 90% natural material, so it smells very natural, which of course I love because I have kind of gone a bit, my tastes have changed the last year or so, and I do really like very natural smelling things. This is just beautiful. The vanilla is quite subtle in here, and it's more like a gentle glue that's holding things together, a slightly sweet glue, rather than it being a really dominant vanilla note. So that's Anam Cara from Dusita. I am loving it, absolutely loving it. The next one is Honey Amber. I have talked about this a fair few times now here, so I won't dwell on it too much, but just know that a full review will come, I promise. And this one has the most gorgeous frangipani note. So there's night blooming jasmine and frangipani in here. There's a woody resinous base, some hand tinctured vanilla, some labdanum, some benzoin. So you can imagine how it smells. The florals are quite potent. So the frangipani and the jasmine are quite potent. There's a freshness to it, but then there is this kind of sticky honeyed sweetness as well, but it's not too sweet. So I absolutely adore that, adore it. It's Honey Amber from Teone Reinthal Natural Perfumes, all the way over in Australia. Another one that I have really been loving is kind of one that I've picked up again, having not worn for a little while, because it's one that I kind of categorise as a bit special when it should be a going out fragrance, but then I don't go out that much, and so yeah, now I'm kind of thinking, do you know what, I'm just gonna wear it, not all the time because I don't want the magic to wear off, but I'm wearing it more and really loving it. And it's my gorgeous Guerlain, and there's the bee bottle. You can see that's all I've got in the bee bottle, so not a lot left. It's a 125ml. That says Smurfy on the front, that's engraved. I had this filled and engraved. I bought this in Paris at the Place Vendôme boutique, I think, or it might have been Champs-Élysées, but I think it was Place Vendôme. And so yeah, le plus beau jour de ma vie translates to the most beautiful day of my life, and it's supposed to represent a French wedding. So at French weddings they have those sugared almonds, you know, the pastel coloured, multicolored sugared almonds that are so pretty. This is the atomizer that I have it in. That needs filling up, so I'll do that in a minute. So you have a gorgeous sugared almond. When you first spray it, you also get a tiny bit of aniseed. I don't think it's a listed note, but I pick up on it just for a short time, not for too long. And the French do have a drink that they're quite fond of called pastis, which is like, in the UK we have Pernod, which doesn't sound quite so posh, and it really isn't, but it's a thick aniseedy liqueur, and I get a hint of that. I don't know if they drink pastis at French weddings. I can't imagine that they do, but I haven't checked that out. But I do get a little bit of licorice or aniseed, and lots and lots of vanilla, and it is the most stunning vanilla. It's not a cheap, synthetic, overtly sugary, thick, creamy vanilla. It's a lighter, softer, just smells somehow more refined, really gorgeous, and then it's kind of powdery. It's almost like there's some icing sugar just floating in the breeze. It's very musky. There's orange blossom. I think there's some other florals, but I would say that orange blossom is probably the most noticeable. But it's not a very like a really rich orange blossom like Love Don't Be Shy from Kilian. I think if you like Love Don't Be Shy from Kilian, but perhaps you find it a bit too much or too thick, the orange blossom may be too heavy, too rich, then you might find that you prefer this, Le Plus Beau Jour de ma Vie. But it is different, it's not the same. I would say this is the Le Plus Beau Jour de ma Vie has more facets, it's slightly more interesting, but it is absolutely gorgeous. It's transparent, it's not too thick and heavy for quite a sweet fragrance. It's not cloying to me at all. It lasts ages on my skin and it really projects nicely around me. So I've worn it on a night out and got a compliment right at the end of the night when I was buying some food from a lovely lady that was serving me. So it still projects, because she was quite a distance away, still projecting hours and hours after I'd applied it. So absolutely love that. In actual fact, I think there's something going on with me and musky vanillic florals. I think there's actually a bit of a theme going on here. So talking of which, another one which I am absolutely rinsing this bottle. It is only a 30 ml, but I've nearly done half of it, and it's the new Miss Dior, the brand new 2021 Miss Dior. So some might say it's very generic. Maybe it is a little bit, but I am just loving it. I'm absolutely addicted to it. And it's really in the same ballpark as the fragrances I've talked to you about already. Not so much honey amber, but yeah, I guess Le Bleu Beau Jour de ma vie more so, in that it's another powdery, musky, floral. It's got some benzoin in it. So it's got that lovely powdery base. There's some raspberry, but it's not too tart, but it just lends it a teensy bit of tartness. There's rose. And it's clean and it's soft and it's just very, it's musky for sure, it's powdery, it's vanillic for sure, but it has this beautiful clean floral in it as well. And I just find it really addictive. When you first spray it, it does smell like a lot of other stuff. To me, it reminds me of walking through the airport duty free, when perhaps someone's been spraying quite a few of the ladies' perfumes. So it does have that generic feel of, oh yeah, there's another women's perfume. But when you let it settle and the different nuances come out, there's just something I really love about it. And I haven't really fallen hard for a designer perfume in a long time. It doesn't happen that often, but I really do love this, and I can see me getting a bigger bottle when I get near the end of this, because I'm loving it. Another one I'm loving, and this is Ylang Nosey B from Paris Monte Carlo. This is a very tropical feel, so it's closer to honey amber, which also has a tropical floral feel, than the others in the list I've given you so far. So this is of course Ylang, but it smells fruity to me. Not that I could say that I pick out a specific fruit, but almost like it just has a slightly fruit syrup, almost like if you have a can of peaches or something and you've got that syrup, almost like it's slightly mixed in with the Ylang. So it's a fruity Ylang, and lots of the most beautiful vanilla. Maybe a hint of spice, there are other notes in here, but for me they don't really play any major role. They probably just act as scaffolding and filler and fluff. But the main thing here is the most gorgeous natural smelling, kind of like woody vanilla, and then the rich fruity kind of syrupy Ylang. That really is it, but to me it is just perfection. It does smell quite tropical because it is Ylang is a tropical flower, and it's quite heady, very rich, yet it works because it's tropical. It works very well in the warmer weather, but I have a feeling I'll be reaching for this year round. I think this will be cheering me up in the colder months, because I really don't like the colder months. So anything I can do to bring some sunshine into my life, I will absolutely be doing, and I'm certainly going to be doing that with Paris Monte Carlo's Ylang Nosey B. And the last one I don't have a bottle of yet, and this is such a surprise to me, and it might be a bit of a surprise to you if you know me, because how do we put this? I guess, okay, here we go. I guess I've kind of judged Parfums de Marly as a YouTuber brand, that they sponsor certain YouTubers, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think, you know, they send out free bottles here and there, and I think they sponsor certain channels with a much larger audience. Now, I don't have a problem with that, but I also sort of have this feeling that they're a bit overpriced, that the quality is not there compared to the price, and it was more about the bottle and the luxury, you know, selling you that luxury dream, this gorgeous bottle. And so I was always a bit cynical, and I've smelt quite a few and I've never really found them that interesting. To me, they're kind of like a stepping stone into niche, and I always just thought, well, they're never going to be for me. They don't really do anything that different from what you can get in the department stores, you know, with Dior and the likes. So fast forward, they released Oriana, and the notes did look really nice, but I still suspected that it was going to smell quite similar to quite a few other things, and probably wouldn't be that amazing. I would probably like it, and I probably wouldn't necessarily love it. And then I got a sample from the lovely Marcus, who has the Instagram PDM_UK, and he's a distributor for different high-end brands, including Parfums de Marly. I'm not sure if he's officially a distributor, but he sells genuine bottles of perfume, and he very kindly sent me a sample. I asked to buy a sample. He didn't actually have any at the time. Then he decided to get a bottle, and he let me have some, which was really, really kind of him. So this is all I have left now, and I did do a little review on my channel. You can find it. It wasn't that long ago, probably the last video I did, if not the one before that. Who knows? I've lost track. I've been working. I've just done 2 12-hour day shifts. I've got tomorrow off, and then I've got to do 4 12-hour night shifts. So I'm going to get confused about where I am and what I'm doing and where I'm going. But what I'm saying is, Oriana was a real surprise to me, and after I reviewed it, my review was not lukewarm. I would say that I think I was like okay about the opening, and then really, really liked the dry down of Oriana. Since then, I've kind of fallen for it, even though it does, as I suspected, smell quite similar to a few other things that are already out there. I still really just love it. So there you go. I actually want to buy a bottle of Oriana. I'm not going to pay full retail. I'm still very much of the thought process that they are a bit overpriced, and they do end up in the grey market for less, and you can often see them secondhand where people get them for the hype and then realise that they're not as, you know, as wonderful as they first thought, or as wonderful as they expected. So I won't be paying full price, but I have asked Marcus if he's going to be getting any, because he usually gets a little bit cheaper than retail, I understand. I've not bought from Marcus before, but I have asked him, and he thinks he's getting some, so he's going to let me know. But Oriana, anywho, let's talk about the notes. I have got it on my wrist. It's been on my wrist for hours, and it is still there. So in terms of longevity, the longevity is absolutely fine. I have no problems with it. I do agree that the projection and the sillage is light. I would prefer it to be a bit more, but I have only been spraying from a sample, and if I had a bottle, I would totally just massively overspray. So it is an orange blossom, musky, powdery, vanillic. Did I say marshmallow? I can't remember. But the orange blossom's not too sharp, and it's not too thick and cloying. So for me, Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy, the orange blossom is a bit too much, and the whole fragrance composition is a bit too much for me. Too thick, too rich, too sweet, too loud. So this is obviously getting compared to Love Don't Be Shy. I think it has some similarities, but for me, I would rather have Oriana over Love Don't Be Shy. And what else? Yeah, the Dry Down has this gorgeous vanilla that's actually very similar to the vanilla in the Guerlain Le Plus Beau Jour de Ma Vie. So it does smell very classy, very sophisticated, not too sweet for my taste. Now my taste does veer fairly sweet, but I don't like it to go OTT. So if you don't like sweet fragrances, you're not going to like any of these. They are all sweet. But yeah, I'm just loving Oriana. I keep spraying it and I want a bottle in my life, so you know, here we go, shoot me. I want a Parfum de Marly. I never thought I'd say that, so here I am, I'm saying it. I really like it. I'm not saying it's anything unique, or you know, just like the same with the Miss Dior. I mean, to be honest with you, the quality of Oriana isn't any better than the quality of Miss Dior in terms of the ingredients, the way that everything gently develops on the skin is all as good. They're as good as each other. I don't think, you know, one is worth more than the other, but obviously one is a lot more expensive than the other. You get the Parfum de Marly bottle, I guess. But so yeah, you know, but at the end of the day, if something brings you joy and you love it and it makes you feel good when you wear it, then for me it's worth it. And I have changed my opinion on that recently. I used to be very much like, oh, I'd never pay £200 for a Parfum de Marly, but yeah, I think, so what if it's not super unique? So what if, you know, it's not 100% natural and whatever, as long as I'm loving it and it's making me feel happy when I spray it on, and I've got the budget, and I'm, you know, I'm not depriving myself in any other way by buying it, then yeah, I have kind of like changed my mind on pricing of perfume somewhat. But that's not to say, as I said, I don't think the Parfum de Marly is worth more money than the Dior, Miss Dior. But if I really crave it and love it, then I'm, you know, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna treat myself. So that is all. Don't forget, I'm coming up to 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's only taken me something like 10 or 11 years, but I thought I would do a questions and answers. I have mentioned it in a couple of other videos. So if you have a question for me, or an answer, if you have a question for me that you'd like me to address in a questions and answers video, then I do need you to make it clear that the question is for that video. And the way you can do that is by using an emoji. And I think last time we had an aubergine. So this time, let's go for, what emoji should we do? Give me a fish. There's you can give me any fish you want, or anything, a sea creature. Let's say you can have a wide range of choices. Give me a sea creature or a fish. If you can't access emojis on your device, just give me like a smiley face that you make with a colon and you know, what's it called, a bracket. So you could give me a smiley face or something like that. So anyhow, why am I saying anyhow all the time? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video.